The time has come for a confession. I lay myself at the mercy of the Church of Gaming and announce my sins. I bloody love duplication glitches in Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't think they should have been patched out.
Why are you boring me? I'm right.
Alright, here's the thing you have to understand. I come from an era of gaming where it was okay, nay, practically encouraged to cheat. The Konami code was essential knowledge, an accidental and hilariously left-in creation by Gradius developer Kazuhisa Hashimoto because he found the game he was making too difficult. And back in the days where magazines were still a thing people regularly bought for themselves, the shelves were stuffed with guides, both official and unofficial, filled with delicious cheats that with a simple input from me could completely change the way I played my favourite games. Want a jetpack in GTA San Andreas? There's a cheat for that. One still emblazoned into my brain to this day. Can't be bothered hunting down every Electoon cage in every level in Rayman just to access the final boss? Boom, we've got a cheat for that too. Sick of being poor in The Sims? Show me one player who hasn't used Motherload at least once. You can't, because we've all cheated at video games at one time or another, and it's okay. This is a safe space. Sadly though, the art of video game cheat codes largely seems to be a thing of the past, whether deliberately included or simply remnants of devs looking to activate powerful bonuses quickly without putting the work in. Nowadays, cheat codes just aren't really a thing, replaced instead by the wonderful world of exploits and glitches, like, for example, the vast array of item duplication glitches that graced The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom when it launched. A veritable smorgasbord of ways for players to ease the toll of weapon durability and a low rupee bank balance by creating stupid amounts of precious gems and battery boosting Zonite and incredibly powerful weapons, all in the name of making what was already the most fun game I've played this year just that bit even more fun. And then, the inevitable, the dreaded, accursed, I would argue unnecessary, patch that removed some of the easiest ways you could actually duplicate items in Tears of the Kingdom. Now this is where we'd usually hear the calls of how I'm robbing myself of the dev's intended experience, or how I'm causing untold harm by giving myself a few extra rupees to spend down the stable, or how I should just get good at the game and not rely on cheating. Well, here's my question to those naysayers. Who were the item duplication glitches in Tears of the Kingdom actually hurting? Because it sure as hell wasn't me, and you only found out I've been cheating about 30 seconds ago, so it wasn't you either. And here's the thing, I've been cheating in Tears of the Kingdom. I've been cheating a lot. Probably more than I've cheated in a game for a long time, but it's made Hyrule even more fun for me than it was when I had no money and even fewer good weapons. Thanks to the duplication glitch, I have all the money I need for the weather-specific armour, and I can keep my arrows stocked up, I have more bombs than I could wish for, and I never ran out of splash through during that abomination of a boss fight at the water temple. In short, the item dupe glitch was a good thing. And it's why, ever since I discovered that Nintendo had made the decision to patch them out of the game entirely, my Switch has been firmly stuck on airplane mode and will probably remain so for quite some time. Or when I finally decide I've got enough rupees, bomb arrows and Zonite, which will be never. Which leads me again to the question, why don't you like fun, Nintendo? Alright, that's a bit harsh. Obviously, they like fun. Tears of the Kingdom is the most fun I've had in the game for quite a while. But those item duplication glitches were part of the experience. I've been racking my brains as to why Nintendo would have wanted to remove them, and every single time I come up with an equally valid reason as to why they should have stayed. So let's go through them, shall we? Reason number one, it cheapens the overall experience. Well, the thing is, it didn't for me. If anything, it just made the game feel even more rich and expansive because I didn't have to go into the weeds every time I ran out of bomb flowers or needed an upgrade on my battery so I could use more high power tools. Part of the fun of Tears of the Kingdom is some of the you can build, and if I had to grind out all the large Zonite necessary to make use of some of the truly unhinged stuff, well, I'd never get to see it because I'd have been distracted by something else in the game long before I ever managed it. And if it cheapens the experience for you, then that's fine, because ultimately you don't have to use them, do you? They're completely optional, impossible to do by accident, and if you want, you can ignore their existence entirely. Reason number two, it breaks the game. Well, yes, to a degree, I suppose it does, but only the bits that I don't find that fun myself. I'd much rather spend an hour in a shrine trying to break the game in interesting and often poorly thought out ways, instead of schlepping around another mine trying to find a slither of Zonite so my hoverbike crashes to the ground a little bit less. And again, if you think creating an infinite number of rocks by jumping on a shield is a bad thing, well, first I'd question where your sense of fun went to die, but then I'd say you don't have to use them. Reason number three, cheating in gaming is bad. A catch-all phrase, perhaps, and not entirely untrue. Using an aimbot or wall hacks in Call of Duty or Apex Legends, yes, objectively bad. Ruining other people's experiences so you can have more fun is not ethical cheating. But you know what is? Crashing the Hyrule economy by flooding it with rubies you duplicated. Tears of the Kingdom has no multiplayer component, no way for your actions to directly impact any other human alive who is also playing the game. The only person's enjoyment that matters is yours. And if that means you don't want to use cheats, like Nintendo clearly thinks you should, then you don't have to use them. If it seems like I'm labouring the point, that's probably because I am. But if these item duplication glitches were hurting no one, couldn't be replicated without conscious effort, broke the game only so much as the powers and tools given to you by the developers do, and only impact your playthrough, then why the hell would you patch them out and ruin the fun? The devs behind Tears of the Kingdom themselves have admitted that Link's Ascend ability started out as a dev cheat code so they could easily escape underground places since it was such a slog to get back. And thank Hylia they did, because it would be a slog, and it'd be way less fun without it. So if the devs can look at what is essentially a cheat code and think, well, actually that makes the game way more fun, let's include it, then by the same token, why can't players make that decision for themselves? And that's why I just can't bring myself to update Tears of the Kingdom, and maybe never will. I simply cannot let go of the power the game gave me when it first launched. Games have embraced cheat codes and exploits for time immemorial, and in a game that placed so much emphasis on player freedom and how you wanted to play, how you wanted to complete a puzzle, how you wanted to have fun and feel accomplished, it's a shame that Nintendo ultimately decided that item duplication glitches was one player choice too far. That's how we feel anyway. Have you been exploiting those glitches? Or do you prefer to keep your playthroughs clean? Let us know down in the comments, we'd love to know what you're thinking. In the meantime, I've been Elliot, and you should check out these videos to see more of what we do here at GG Recon.